Hello, I'm in the game. Hello, I'm in the game. Hello, I'm in the video with my daddy.
All right, everybody. So today episode we have on Lynn from Model Making Parrot, and we're gonna get to meet her today. Um, so here we go. How we doing today?
All right. How are you doing, Josh?
So we're first gonna start off. Where'd the channel name come from? Right.
This is my Quaker parrot. His name's Sweetie. And I came up with it, or actually, Colin and Fox and I were sitting there trying to come up with it. And because I like the model making that Fox has on his.
Right.
And then I was trying to figure out what other name I could, and Sweetie was squawking in the background, and they said, "How about model making parrot?" So we had model making parrot, and then Ted had model making chicken, and then everybody started going model making whatever their pet was. And this is Sweetie. Say hello.
Nice. I mean it's cool that you have a mascot, right?
Right.
So what part of the U.S. are you in?
I'm in Texas. I'm by Dallas Fort Worth. Fort Worth. I'm west of Fort Worth.
What's the hobby scene like down there?
There really isn't much. They have a couple of hobby stores in Fort Worth. They have a Warhammer store that I haven't been to yet. They have a couple of Lego stores. I've been to the one in Dallas. In Weatherford, they don't have model shops here. They have one store, but I think it's more D&D.
Okay.
And little figures like that. I haven't been to it yet. I would like to go. And everything like, you know. So, yeah, it's not big around here, I don't think. They most of the model shops that I look online are RC stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I get from that area too. It's more of the tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think ReaperCon is somewhere down there by you.
I think. I don't know.
Also,
I haven't found.
it's somewhere down in Texas. That's
Oh, okay.
I know San Antonio is a big model car section.
Right.
That's
Right.
why I was curious how, because you do
Right.
a lot of everything, correct?
Yeah. I started a wooden ship, and it kind of sank. And when I was moving, I didn't have anywhere to put it. I was going to a smaller place, and I had messed up on it anyway. So it kind of went by the wayside. It sunk. It never did leave dry dock. And I built back in the late 70s and 80s. I was making World War II aircraft, 148 World War II aircraft. And when I moved from when I moved from San Angelo to Clovis, New Mexico, I gave gave the box of models to my friend, and well, they ended up somewhere else. in a trash pile probably. So I don't have anything left of the 80s except for my F-16 cockpit, which I don't know who what brand it is,
Well, that's
but
cool. I mean, so I think in the past I've seen you do military. Do you do anything else like
uh
you know?
I'm going to start building the Revell tank transporter. Uh oh, cool. Uh I'm going to start working on Festa's workshop Collins group build a tank transporter probably
Oh
next year.
yeah, his group build, right? It's been coming. It started what last month? This
Yeah,
last month,
yeah, April. But
and
the
I
thing is I haven't had time because I've just got off a cruise to the Bahamas to look for my tools. So I need to find my tools before I could do anything. So yeah.
well, that's cool. So you're gonna be working on that. What's gonna be the next project after that?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
you don't know?
I don't know. I have some old models from the 80s that are in my stash. Um Trying to think offhand what I have. They're all boxed up in boxes right now. And because there's no need for me to I'm not planning to stay here permanently. So
Gotcha.
I have a couple of F4 Corsairs and I have a Sherman tank. I've never built a Sherman tank or a tank. Um, let's see. I have the dreaded Revell 172nd space shuttle with boosters. I've had that since 1980, and it's probably a pieces have probably fallen off the sprue, and because it's been moved around so many times. And yeah, I don't know what my next project might be, or I just might order something offline and start working on another wooden ship because I'd like to really build a wooden ship one of these days.
So which one you gonna try to do?
Uh, they have. I'm still actually kind of looking, but there's one of them that I want to do. It's from Billings Boats, and it's the Calypso, Jacques Cousteau's Calypso,
Okay.
because I grew up watching him every Sunday on TV. Okay, that just showed my age. Uh, so I was fascinated with that ship, and then I want to do a sailing ship one time. I had the I'm going to butcher the name. The Estina Latina San Juan Napoleon, which was a 72, I think 72 cannon ship uh, with sails and everything, and that was it's known as an intermediate slash expert. I don't think a beginner needs to start working on that. That's what threw me off, and it was a plank on plank, and and
Well, I mean
just
that's cool. I mean, and you get to do a lot because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but these are those ships that you start with like little bitty like I call them like coffee stir sticks, right? And then you
mhm,
start with that, and then you're building.
right.
You start at the bottom, and you're kind of building up to the top, right?
Right, you have they have forms that you get the main piece. It's not all one real big piece. It comes in little sections. So you put the supports in, and then you once you get all that done, then you start doing a little bit of the planking, but you have to shape the plank, you have to sand the sides of the ship down, and it's been a long time since I did it. And you just have to use a hang on. When you use actual little bitty nails, and you have a little nail gun
Oh, what is
like
that?
this. It's called a nail gun. I call it a nail gun.
Okay.
And you'll put the nail right here, and you'll get the plank, and you just go like that, and it just shoots the nail in there. So you don't have to use a hammer.
Okay.
And it's a lot easier to do this because the nail will go up in here. I don't have any nails on me, so only the little tip is showing out. So that way you have more precise, because your planks are only like a 1/4 inch wide.
Right.
And so that it would be very bad if you start using this and bend a nail or have it go in wompy jawed and everything like that.
So what gauge of nail is it? Is it like just little what are they, quarter scale, right? Or quarter inch scale nails, I think is what they're called, right?
I think so. No, these are not them. I thought I had a bag. They're made out of little brass pieces.
Oh, okay.
And they're only about a 1/4 inch or a little bit like that.
World's
So
most universal tool, a hammer. That's funny, Sarah Jane.
yeah, and if you don't like it, you just kind of
Right.
But the it's called plank on plank because you have directions.
Yeah.
And they'll just kind of butt up to each other, and you put your nail in there, and that's just to temporarily hold it in there, so you don't want to nail it all the way in. The first row, because there's three different layers, or 2 different layers. The first layer, the nail goes all the way through. The second layer, which is the thicker plank, you just want to put it in there, but you also want to glue it. And yeah, and you have to form the plank, and they say to soak it in water for I don't know how long, a long time, and it'll become pliable. And I didn't know that at first because I didn't do my research. And so when I first tried to slowly bend the plank, it snapped. And when I did get water and soak them, it worked. And then he's
So
but
are you using hot water, cold water?
I was using warm water.
Okay.
And you would let it soak on big long, I mean, they're a good foot, maybe 1.5 feet long, these planks are.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't really soak them in a bowl, so you'd have to put some water in your bathtub and soak it in there. Hang on one second. You want to go home? You want to go home? Oh, there went my dark.
See, there's the bird's home. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Good boy. There you go. Now he'll chow down on that. Ow.
Sweet. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. See, I have the U.S. Constitutional. It's the model.
Yeah.
It's a plastic model kit, but that's about the only ship I have. So.
Yeah.
My dad wants me to do a wooden one, but I don't know if I have the patience for that.
The plastic ones are good too because I had the U.S. Constitution also. No,
Right.
I had the Cutty Sark, and that one, well, it didn't get anywhere either because when I moved from one spot to another spot, it got ruined, and I mean ruined. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to try some more ships and everything, even plastic ones. I'd like to do the USS Enterprise, the World War
Oh yeah.
II CV5.
Yeah. Yeah. When I do the U.S. Constitutional, I'm gonna. He's been on here, but it's Michael Wheaton.
Oh yeah,
He's definitely one of the premier guys for that. So I definitely plan on hitting that guy up. But
right, right.
um, so what are some of the paints and stuff that you like to use?
Uh, I like to use Vallejo, Model Color, Life Color. Uh, I have some Citadel. I actually have a Warhammer figure. Don't ask me the name because it's in Greek, literally. Uh, and I don't want Fox to get mad for me saying it wrong, but then hey ho. Uh, I have some Citadel paints I haven't used yet. I do a lot of hand painting.
Okay.
All my airplanes back in the 80s was Tester's enamel, and that paint was awesome. I don't care what anybody says, that paint was actually good because it would smooth out and it just made the model look good. But then I was uh, in between 12 and 15 and or so. Oh, 65. Okay. And so yeah, this was back when I was a kid and after I had my first brain tumor or second brain tumor, I don't remember, but my dad got me a little bitty model. Uh it was the Fokker triplane and it was blue. The plastic was blue. And I said, "Hey, can you run down to the store and get me some paint?" And he says, "Nah, just leave it as plastic color. It looks better." So I have a blue Baron, or had a blue Baron.
Well, I
But
mean, it's okay.
the only thing wrong with it was when I did the landing gear. When I did the landing gear, one of the wheels went whoppy jawed.
Oh
So
man, I hate when that happens. I hate when it happens on cars.
yeah.
It's crazy how
So
that can just ruin a great
hmm
motivation.
so yeah, it's I want to try other things.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
like what? Like what?
well, I've built a HG unicorn Gumpla, and then I have a whole bunch of Bandai Star Wars models. Should I dare say that I have the Bandai Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon? And
That's impressive because that's not a cheap kit, is it?
no, it's not.
And that's
And I,
not this. That's like this,
yeah,
right?
it's not the big one. It's the 172nd one.
Oh, okay. So it's like
It's
this.
not. Yeah,
It's not this. It's like this,
it's not the D'Agostini one.
right? Okay.
I'd like to get. I'd like to get that one, but that's out of my price range. And but I also have the Revell 172nd slash Revell slash Fine Molds 172nd Falcon also.
Yeah. See, I have a bunch of. You remember the box sets of like the Battle Hoth, Luke and Yoda? It is like Return of the. I think it's Return of the Empire or Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
The Yoda's home.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Remember all those box sets?
Mm-hmm.
I found those like a year and a half ago for like $10 a piece, and I
Wow.
have all but like one of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But one of these days, I'm gonna bust them out when I actually have a place to put them all. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. That's my problem. I don't have any place to put anything right now, so that's why I'm hesitant to start really getting into it, because I have all my Legos still packed up in a box because I don't have anywhere to put it.
I gotcha.
And it's just like all my modeling stuff is still in a box because uh, I've been just pulling out the needed stuff I need to start working on the tank transporter. At least I'd like to at least do one, but like I said,
Yeah,
I don't have
but
anywhere to put it right now.
but with your job, do you is that kind of how you de-stress with from that? Is the modeling side of it, right?
On the weekend, I'll work on it for about an hour or two,
Okay.
and my main real de-stressor is sit there and watch YouTube or watch the Dallas Stars hockey play in this playoffs.
Okay. Okay. I gotcha. There's nothing wrong with that. So tools, right? You said earlier you had something for shipbuilding, right? That you were gonna try to show?
This will cut your finger off.
What the heck is that?
It's called a plank bender. I wish I had a. Oh, actually, I do. I have a dowel. It's a plank bender. What you do is when after you wet your plank, you just kind of barely, and you just kind of start bending it. You know,
Okay, raise your hands up a little bit. There you go.
oh, sorry, and it
You're
just
all right.
kind of you just kind of start bending it, but then you can also, well, well, it makes big dimples in it, but I really used it a couple of times, but I don't know why it has this sharp edge here. As it says it's a plank bender, and that's where you want to start bending your sorry, your plank. See, it's easy. I haven't put that in water, but it I guess that sharp edge is where you want to start
No, you're all
folding
right.
your.
Okay, that's interesting.
This is too thick actually, but yeah, it's a neat little tool. I
And
used it a couple of times, and then I tried bending the plank by itself, and the plank just snapped. This just kind of gives it a little bit of grip, and
yeah,
it just kind of helps guide it. You don't want to bend it like that. You just want to bend just a little bit at a time. So that's a plank bender.
and that
Or
and that and that is part of the modeling tools, or is that out
mm-hmm.
of a different section?
This is actually, I want to say, part of the modeling tools that you could use,
Okay,
but it's sold separately
sweet.
for $19.99 today only. And
Nice.
then I use this, which is, of course, a level to make sure your ship's level.
Oh wow, that's cool.
When you put it on, hang on. Ow! There went everything. You'll mount, this is the keel clamp. So you'll
Okay.
mount this to your table, and you put that there, and you want to see if it's level. So once you get everything leveled, you'll put your model in here, and that way everything on your model is level. It's just like a jig for your airplane or your ship or whatever. And of course, these can slide back and forth. And then this will just kind of, you want to lock it down. But yeah, as a this is part of what I used. And I started building it on an old card table with a piece of wood underneath laying on top. But another thing I used was hand drills and a saw,
Yeah.
a little bitty skinny saw.
Like a razor saw or like
A
a
razor.
wood?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Because you would, what you do is you'd plank everything, and then you would draw out your lines for your little cannon ports. And I'm hearing myself echo. And so you would drill just inside the corners with your hand tool, and you just kind of drill around until you can actually get your little file or your little knife in there and start cutting around. And then you kind of smooth it out. And some of mine were a little bit bigger than they should have been. And then there was other times where the plank would actually start breaking off. So that's another reason why that ship kind of took a sunk. I tried to repair it, but it looked like I wanted to be looking good. I know I could have used it as battle damage, but yeah, I think the battle damage I created on it, it would have sunk anyway. But yeah, I want to do a big model ship. So once I get a permanent place to live, when I hopefully in about 5 or 6 years maybe, or after I retire, I can get a little piece of land and build a house or look into a barnuminium or something like that. So we'll see.
Cool project. That would be a cool project.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I still got to clean this place up though before I can really get back into it. But I'm going to start working on that tank transporter because I actually want to finish a group build. I started a group build a long time ago with his name was Guy, and he did an F4 group build, F4 Phantom group build, and I didn't get to finish it because I was starting to get stressed at work, and then medical issues came up, and it just kind of went from good to bad to worse to I'll finish it whenever.
Yeah, I understand that. There's sometimes even when they're like 10 months long, it's like, oh, I have time. Oh, I have time.
Right.
Oh
right.
man, there's a month left. What the heck happened? It's like
Right. Yeah. But
it's crazy. And then trying to keep up with all of them. You know, Colin's got his. There's the NASCAR group build. There's the egg plane group build. There's the street machine, I think, that starts tomorrow.
Oh wow.
It's just an endless list, and it's all great. It's just you got to figure out what you want to build, and it's
I'm the type of builder that I can only have one thing on the go. And I could probably have 2 things or 3 things on the go, but I don't have time to work on all of them at the same time.
Right.
I know I could do one night and one the next night and one the next night, but things happen where my friend will say, "Hey, let's go do this." It's like, "Okay, let's go," and it goes to the side. I'm going to see if I can do it at night when I get off work for about an hour or 2. But then sometimes I'll sit there and start working on something, and next thing I know, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I gotta go to work at 8:30. So yeah, it's
Right. It's just a give and take on how you got to manage your time. And
mhm.
I don't know exactly your position, but you work in a hospital. I know that much.
I'm a certified pharmacy tech. I'm a
Okay.
legal drug dealer tech.
All right. That's cool. But like you could either work, what is it, a 8 hour day, a 14-hour day, or a 16 hour, just depending on schedule, right?
We do 8 hours.
Oh, that's
I
convenient.
work I work Monday through Friday, and I'm off on the weekends, which is awesome. My last job was I worked uh supposed to work 8 hours, but it usually end up 10, 12 hours.
Right.
6 days in a row with 1 day off, and cuz I was the only pharmacy tech during COVID, chocolate velociraptor. Uh while that was going on in a 160 bed hospital. And talk about stress level and burnout real quick.
Right.
So the only thing I wanted to do when I get off was to come home, feed Sweetie, maybe eat something, and go to bed. I could care less about anything else.
Well, I mean, that's understandable during that time
Yeah,
period. Actually, you know.
yeah.
So I
But now I'm happy. I'm not stressed out as much. I'm actually very little stress,
right.
and I love my job because there's other people there to do other jobs. I'm not doing the whole hospital. So yeah, I really like it.
That's
Still
cool.
burned out, but really like it.
So we've covered what you like to do, paints, what future stuff you're gonna do, tools, what you're currently working on. Um, how have you liked being on social media? Is going to be one of my questions for
Uh,
you.
no, I don't mind it. I'm getting used to being on live, doing live streams with being on with Colin, and then when I can, if I wake up early enough, doing James's uh JC Bricks and Builds and build Lego with him. Uh I I don't mind it. It gives me a way to escape what's out there.
Right.
And there's a window right over here. And I I have more friends here online than I do out there. I think I got 2, maybe 3 friends. And soon as I get to go to where Jeff lives, I'll have 4 friends. But everybody at work is acquaintances because it's just like working with them. Uh, I'm kind of a loner, but I like to be out with people. You know, it kind of contradicts itself, but hey,
Hey,
uh, I'm a fun person to hang around with, and I really enjoy the group I'm with. This community, all around community, is awesome. Uh, you, Colin, Fox, Sarah Jane, Jeff, everybody is just awesome.
well, and I've also seen you in the Styrene Syndicate,
Yeah,
H
Gil's awesome.
Hobby League International. I think I've seen you in there. So
Mm-hmm.
you're you're around the community quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I was just kind of curious how social media has been treating you because it, and I want to see more women come out and be part of this because
Right.
then you have that jackwagon behind the keyboard
Mm-hmm.
that kind of derails that. And
Right.
that's why I asked that because some people have a hard time. You don't seem to have a hard time, or you don't let it bother you either. That's what I was trying to, you know.
Just wait until I get off. I'll be going, ah, I'm glad this is over with. Oh, I had to bite my job. And just, as Colin says, look at the post-it note. Look at the post-it note. Don't worry, it's going to be fun. Instead of no cussing post-it note, I have, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Calm down. No, I'm pretty good. It's just when I get with big crowds, that's when I start having panic attacks.
Okay.
And yeah, like I said, I just got off of a cruise ship for 5 days. It was very good, actually. I didn't see anybody. You see people, but you don't see them. And the only crowds were when there was a band going on or at the theater or, it was wide open. I thought I'd be having panic attacks every day. I never did have a panic attack. Never did get seasick either. And so, yeah, it was a very nice cruise. Smooth sailing. But I wish there was times that I could have gotten online, but the ship's Wi-Fi, well, posty note. It's not good. The ship's Wi-Fi was not good, and my little brother who I went with, we could barely text each other. Let me put it to you that way.
That's
So
you're way out in the ocean then.
yeah, we are. We were trying to use the ship's Wi-Fi texting app, and it would not work. So we went to Whatnot app, and so now Whatnot actually worked a lot better than the MSC texting chat get my teeth in texting app. So yeah, it's I want to go on another one. Anybody want to go on a cruise? I want to go on one that's outside of somewhere.
Outside of somewhere.
Yeah, I'll be glad to fly to wherever. I want to do my friend and I, we want to do a round the world cruise, but not with $15,000 to do it. So
yeah, I mean,
everything's expensive. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna be landlocked for a long time because I got a credit card to pay off. Pay off this cruise. So that's
so basically we've been about 40 minutes. So this
right.
last 20 minutes, I was so I was gonna see if you had any questions for me because I know you were wanting to, you had other plans today.
I had plans today, work plans, but I did them yesterday. Had to do, which was good because I was coming from my friend's house who lives in Fort Worth, and I said, "Well, I'll just swing by the hospital," because I was actually scheduled to do it at 7:00 at night. And so it was like 5:30 when I arrived at the hospital saying, "Is there any way I can do it right now?" And they said, "Well, we got to do this person first and then we can do you." And I was like, "Cool, I'll stick around." I just wanted to get it done.
Right.
But yeah, we have to get compliant for the IV room, and we need to have it done by Monday or Tuesday when the big guys come in. That's all I'm going to say.
But it's one of those things where I'm glad we were able to make this work today because
Right. I know we've been trying to do this for a couple of months.
right. Colin, like I had to message Colin. I was I know she has a hectic work schedule, and I was trying to get a hold of you all week, and like I messaged him because I thought maybe he'd had your information.
Right.
But it's okay. I finally was able to get a hold of you.
I should have let you know that I was going to be out of town for a week, but
it's life. I understand. Right.
It's one of those things where you don't want to announce that you're actually leaving.
Right. That's why not a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Not a big deal at all.
That's why I don't. When I go on vacation, I take pictures and videos and everything, but I do not go online saying, do Facebook stuff like other people do, because that's a security thing. Because I used to work at a University of North Texas as security, and it's like, no, you don't want to announce that you're out of town because that's a signal to the burglars to come over and have fun with your house.
Forget burglars, friends.
Yeah, friends.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they stumble across it, they're not going to see it. It's your friends that are going to come do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come get this. So yeah, it's I want my Holy Grail kit. I'll answer this question. My Holy Grail kit is there's two of them. One of them is actually Lego, and it's the Coliseum, and it's actually retiring this year, so I'm going to have to try to get it before it retires.
Wait. You're talking about like the Rome Coliseum, right?
Yes.
That's pretty massive kit.
It's about $500 and some odd.
Yeah, that's a big kit.
And that's the kit that I really wanted from the beginning, because I stumbled upon a Lego YouTuber, and he talked about it, and he had already built it, and I went back and saw his video on it, and I'm like, I want that, because I had 6 years of architecture. I was going to become an architect. I don't know why I didn't stick with that, but so I like architecture stuff. So I have the really big, I want to call it the USC Taj Mahal, and there's several others that I want to get, but yeah, they're kind of expensive. And the Holy Grail for models is, of course, right now is the Billings Boats Jacques Cousteau Calypso.
That wooden ship, that would be cool. And that's not really a cheap kit either, if I remember right.
It's about $500 also.
Right. It's not necessarily a cheap kit either.
And they only, if I remember correctly, they only put out 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a hit or miss. So I just, because I've already got the 2 Millennium Falcons that I wanted.
Right.
And I have the Lego Disney Castle that I wanted before it retired. I have the Lego USC Millennium Falcon before it retired. And that's the most expensive one that I've had so far. And let's see, what else do I have? I have a couple of 144 scale F4U Corsairs. That's my favorite airplane, is the F4U Corsair. And I have some old testers airplanes that are kind of, they're still in the box, and they'll probably remain in the box because about that. And they because I had the testers F111 Nighthawk stealth plane. I started building it, and in between the wing and the fuselage where they meet, there was probably about a half-inch, quarter-inch gap. And I was like, how am I going to fill that? And I know I could use styrene sheet, but at the time I didn't have any. So I kind of put some round sprue in there that I shaved down a little bit, and then I put Bondo on it, and it turned out yuck. And so it turned into a paint mill until I moved, and then it went into the Section 88 to the bin. So and the pitot tubes at the front of it, the 4 little tubes that came out of it, they kept breaking off, and 1 or 2 of them were actually missing, so I had to make something up, and it kept breaking off, and it was not a good model at all. So I don't think I'll build the other 2 that I have.
Yeah.
So I have like I said, the Tamiya Sherman tank. What else do I have? I don't remember what else I have. I've slept since then.
So with Warhammer stuff in your area, you gonna be starting to collect that? So
maybe, if I have the money, because those are expensive too. But I'd like to finish up the little one that I have now and start painting it. And I want to get my YouTube channel back up and going, because it's been a long time since I put anything out.
Right.
And so I want to try to get that going again. But I don't know how many videos or what I'm going to do, because to me, I'm a slow person. It takes me a while to build something.
Well, that's okay.
It's not that I get bored. It's that it's just I'm slow. I'm slow at everything, and even my boss goes, you need to kind of speed it up. And it's like, I'm going as fast as I can. I mean, I'm going as fast as I can, and I like to take my time because I'm dealing with drugs, and I want to make sure the drugs are in the right pocket and everything like that. And yeah, it's hard because, like I said, my brain is not, I want to say, normal, because my tumors were in the cerebellum area, which is mainly your bounce and motion and that kind of stuff. But I think it affected my memory too. What am I doing, and who are you? Hello.
Right.
So yeah, I try to be friendly. I try to be happy and go lucky, and
well, I mean, that's definitely how you come across on social media anyway. At least that's the
Right.
impression I get, Right.
I might be silly, but I don't mind if people, tell you the truth, I don't care what people think about me. I used to work with a guy that said, I thought you were really weird. You are really weird. And I did not want to get to know you. And he said, but once I found out that you had 2 brain tumors, that's that that told me everything. So we became the best friends.
Right. Right.
But
No, that. I mean, that's understandable, right? Understandable.
but everything's good. Everything's wonderful. Uh it couldn't be any better. Just
Well,
wish
I mean, definitely. I know, at least for me, when it comes to YouTube, I use this StreamYard
right.
to because I can record a video on here on StreamYard and then process it later.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have an iMac, so I just basically use this to upload videos and do.
Right.
I mostly go live because it's just easier.
Right.
And
Right. Yeah, I forgot to ask you if I could record this and play it back on mine, but I don't see a record button over here, but that's okay.
So what we can do, well, actually,
Well, we could.
I might be able to send you the video. I might be
Okay.
able to send you the video.
Okay.
It's one of those things that you're supposed to be able to download it to my computer, and then
Mm-hmm.
but then it's the trick of getting the video to you is gonna be the hard part. But I mean, I know for sure I can send you my side of the YouTube video for my
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know if I want to put videos out or try to do it live, because when I'm building and I'm doing a video, I'll be going, okay, you put this piece here, this piece, and then all of a sudden I'll just be real quiet and just keep going like this, and then I'll go, oh yeah, I'm online. I'm on
well,
doing a
see,
video.
I have the fix for that. When you have those things, there's these little music things, and
That's what
you can just play it out while you're being quiet, right?
that's what when I edit my videos, that's what I do is I get music and put very lightly in the background. And then I'll sit there, or I haven't tried voiceover yet, but yeah, it's just kind of I'll be going, I'll get real concentrated because I concentrate a lot,
Right.
and I guess I need to work on talking as I'm building, but I don't know if I'm talented enough to talk and build at the same time. It's just like, rubbing your chest and patting your head,
I
So
was gonna say Colin and Fox would definitely be the two guys to talk to, because that's all they do. Like, they're
right.
just talking at each other and just going.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
I think they didn't do one today, I don't think.
No, Colin took the day off.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I noticed that when I was when I was on James's show, it was like I was just building around and not really talking, and now I'm going, I should have talked more, but I don't know what to talk about.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah. Or it's the exact opposite. You're in a hangout and you went in there for 3 hours and you didn't work on one thing because you were just talking to everybody.
right.
It's one or the other. Right.
That's why when I go in there on the hangout, I'll be here because I don't work on anything. Because anyway, my bench is all a mess right now anyway. And so that's why most of when I'm in the 24/7 hangout or live or whatever, I'll be sitting right here. And I'm thinking, I need to bring something out here, so I get a little bitty Lego set and I'll be building it while I'm talking to people. And then
Right.
so yeah, I just now got back into building Lego. I used to have a real old 1970s Lego sets. We had a whole bunch of pieces and somehow they got thrown away.
So that's before my time. Did
Right.
Lego really have the kits they do now back then?
No. They
'Cause
had
it was just
some.
starter boxes, right? Where you just
Yeah.
got right.
Yeah. You got a couple of base plates and you got a whole bunch of Lego pieces. They did have they did make, little bitty sets, not like these gigantic ones they have now. And I don't think we ever got any of the little sets. I can't remember because I was a kid back then. Anything before 1978 and 75 and before that's kind of a blur to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah, because see, I wasn't even born until '79, so
Oh,
that's why
okay.
I asked that because I know in the late '80s is when they started doing the Lego. I think the first one was like the Batmobile for
Uh,
the
Maybe.
Michael the Michael
Yeah.
Keaton. I think that was the first Lego like set they put out. I think,
Right.
or maybe it was the
Right.
Batman. It was one of them. Or at least that's the first one I saw.
Okay.
you know.
They had before that was a little Lion King's castle, the first one. The first actual Lego set was just a little castle. It was about, I don't know how big it was, and it was just all yellow. It was called the Yellow Castle, and it was very simple.
Yeah,
And
I think I remember that. That was mid '80s, I think.
yeah, then after that, they started building a little more complex or not so complex pieces for the younger people and stuff. And I think the Batmobile was the first real technic
I want to say that's the is
technic
Batmobile Batwing. It was one of them.
mhm.
And it wasn't a little thing either because if I
Right.
remember, it was like
It's
that long.
huge. Right.
It
And
is
then
crazy.
right. But then they also made the Star Wars sets a couple of years after the movies came out. So Star Wars might be the first real Legos that they started making kits. I really don't know the history of Lego.
Yeah,
It's probably a good research topic for me to do. I like to do research and I like
are you
archaeology.
one of those that has like a kit in front of you and then the binder comes out to see what you're gonna do with it?
I have uh I have the kit, but I don't have the binder. I always have a notebook that I write down
Okay.
in, but uh I'm a photographer also, and I'm getting back into that, and I'm also an astronomer. Uh, but Jeff, you can still be Carl Sagan. I don't want that title because I don't sound like him. uh,
Oh, see, the old guy here, Gil,
Hi, Gil.
1955 was the first Lego system. It was a garage with a door that opened.
Ah,
Yeah, like I said, that was way before my time.
that was way before my time too. Hi, Gil. Hope you're doing good. Hope your bees are doing good. Uh, yeah, it's I'm kind of a I'll try something at least once.
Well, that should be life in general, right? You should have that
Mm-hmm.
rule with life in general, right?
Right, right. I'll try something once. Uh, my brother and I had a challenge that we were going to do the water slide that went down, and it kind of went over the ocean as you were going down. And but we ran out of time. Yeah, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they also had a zip line on board ship. I don't know because I don't do heights. But then I'll try it once. Might scream might scream and uh, panic and I don't like heights. So yeah, I I tell people that I used to be a student pilot. And I used to fly, and they're like, when I tell them I don't like heights, they go, "And you fly an airplane?" I said, "Yeah, that's totally different because you have a cockpit around you, and I feel safe in a cockpit, but I don't feel safe when it's just me standing on the ladder." So yeah,
All right, Lynn,
that,
we have hit that hour mark now.
right, right.
Um, did you have any questions for me?
Not not offhand. I feel like this is an interview. Not offhand, but your company had what uh, what kind of other positions your company has? Oh,
Well, I
uh,
always I get
right,
to ask you questions for an hour. I always
right,
at the end of it try to let you guys
yeah.
ask me stuff, so it's not just one way.
How long have you been doing models?
So I'm not any different than I think most people. I was doing it probably when I was 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing model cars, and then I finished high school, and then basically went into the workforce. And then
Yeah.
about 10 years ago, son was born. And
Mm-hmm.
then a year or so after that, I had to find something to keep me stress level down from all
Right.
that situation.
Right.
And so I went back into model making, and then now I do just about everything now, from
Oh,
3D
okay.
printing to you know.
All right. I I have no more questions.
Well, thank you for coming on. I
You
really
bet.
appreciate this. Yeah, yeah, and then maybe I've been trying to take the summers and stuff off,
Right.
but next September, October, I'm gonna try to have like group discussions. So
Oh, okay.
you can go grab Colin and Fox and tell them that they should come on here with you, and we'll have a fun time.
Okay. All right.
But definitely, I will talk to you in a couple minutes. I just want to
Okay.
say thank you for making this work today. Um,
Yeah.
and I will talk to you in a couple minutes. All right.
All right. Thanks. Thank you very much. It's been a
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't let him do an interview with anybody because he cut you off while you're talking. Thank you
I
for letting me come on.
Yeah.
And bye everybody that came in. Now.
Okay. All right, everybody. That was Lynn. Lynn is super nice. I'm really glad I was able to make this work this weekend. Work schedules get in the way, and we always try to adjust and pivot. So next weekend is Frankie B. I'm not sure if we're doing Saturday or Sunday. I got to talk to him still, but I will see you guys next weekend. Bye.